Okay.
Okay, what's the second key problem?
AI content is good enough, and that is, I think, a really scary place to be at. Once
Yeah.
it gets to that level where we're not going to be able to tell the difference. I saw a gal the other day that popped up my feed, and it just this look that I was like, something's dead in those eyes. Something's dead.
So you thought it was real and it was an AI
I,
influencer?
I had an inclination that it was fake, but
Yeah.
I couldn't tell right off the bat, and it took me going to the page and like damn near looks exactly how any sort of any sort of like travel influencers page
Sure.
would look, and you could just slightly tell, man, there's that lifeless look behind those two eyes.
Yeah.
But it had real comments. That's the even scarier part. Is I'm like,
That's crazy.
So many stupid men are like falling for this,
Yeah.
and like, oh my god, you look so good. I'm like, okay, this is crazy. The 50-year-old boomers on Facebook, we're done for, man. They're done for.
Have you seen the video?
Yeah, there's a lot of accounts that are just fully AI influencers that are posting on a daily basis, and a lot of people just cannot tell if they're real or not. So they go ahead and leave comments looking for a reply back from this account holder. But yeah, you want to you say, don't you realize that there's no one there? It's all fake. Well, I mean, it is a fake account in the way that it's not a real person, but there's also someone behind that account managing it. So if you do comment, eventually there will be a reply back, right? So I don't know how you want to take it here. If it's the creator behind that account is creating these artificial influencers, but at the same time there is a human behind there. Might not be a female controlling a female influencer account, but it could be a male controlling that female influencer account. But at the end of the day, there is a human controlling that. Now, when there isn't one at all, then that's when it's going to start getting really interesting.
Video where it's the AI news reporter, and then it's like, oh, I'm here and it's flooding, and then you see a shark circling it,
Yeah.
and then the comments are, I'm totally getting scammed when I'm 80. Like, AI content's gonna get so good in the next 40, 50 years.
I also think right now the barrier to entry for them is low. Like they're able to make stuff quite quickly.
Yeah.
And then they're not these platforms. For example, I know that OpenAI is being sued by Disney for copyright infringement for using The Simpsons and using different Disney like Mickey Mouse sort of situations
Oh, wow.
and training their platform.
What if you could
By the way,
It's still the mouse sort of situations
Oh, wow.
and training.
what he just said about, because everybody's like prompting a lot of intellectual copyright stuff, there's going to be a crazy disruption, a crazy copyright war, because so much is going to start flooding the system that they just won't know what to do. This is going to be exactly what happened with the music industry when Napster came out, and then all these platforms came out with music. It was uncontrollable.
Their platform. So it's still the Wild West. Like these companies are operating in a lawless kind of environment,
Yeah.
which is allowing them to scale so much faster. Granted, thank God for the Disneys of the world being like whipping down on them and be like,
Yeah.
hey, that's not cool. It's a huge lawsuit that they're going after them for, and they will win because they've
Yeah.
trained it on like tons of Disney IP and
Yeah.
allowed people to spread that sort of IP around, which is not okay. So it's crazy though, because there's not anything in effect, and these people are also they're also helping the government use them. So this is just getting even weirder and weirder. I think like there isn't another higher power that is overseeing them, like they say they're overseeing them.
Yeah.
But they're really not. They are the ones paving the way. So it's so interesting to kind of think about what the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years will look like and what jobs will be replaced. I mean, dude, you even walk outside here where we live in West Hollywood. You know what I see every day? I see Waymos
Yeah.
everywhere. I see self-driving cars everywhere. And they're becoming more and more frequent, where it started off as just like, oh, you see one every now and then. And now they're everywhere. I mean, you're literally at a stop sign. There might be 3 of them at a stop sign.
It's like,
Well, because I mean, people want delivery. Like, they don't go out and pick up the food anymore. It's all delivery, and you know, right now, what people are delivering your food, but it's just like there's been so many weird things happening with the delivery service. I mean, you got drone delivery coming soon. I mean, most of the Midwest in the U.S. has drone delivery. You know, so they're not even driving your packages to your home. They're dropping them off from the air.
with a Tesla.
There's this world where in California and San Francisco and in, you know, Los Angeles, where those cars are going to be taking over a majority of the road.
Yeah.
And like, I know that's not at all what we're talking about right this second, but I think you should start to think about that, because you might not be in an area where that stuff is starting to like play out in front of you. And we're seeing it right here, and it's happening like right before our eyes.
Yeah.
Right? And we're so deep in content. Like, we are in this world. Like, I see it. And like, we talk to experts like our friend Kane, and we talk to other people online, and seeing like what their thoughts are and what the future might look like for us. I think that the best thing we can do is talk as a community, and like in our comments in this video, like talk to each other and see what you guys are thinking. And
Well, I mean, if you know, here's a good example. You're a podcaster, you're making podcasts all day, 24/7, making podcasts, talking. You're not leaving the house. You know, order it on your phone and then have these little robots bring it to you. And there's a market there. There's definitely a market there. And if people don't leave their house, it's going to get delivered. And most likely, it's going to be way cheaper to get these little robots to deliver food or whatever it is than, you know, using a car and somebody driving it. Unfortunately, we build a service, an industry, but that industry will be disrupted, you know, based on cost.
what you think, like what we can do to stand out as a team. Like, we're in this together. Instead of turning a blind eye, I think that's the worst thing we could do, and be like, oh, we'll just pick our heads up in 2 years and see where this whole thing is at. I think that can get really scary really fast.
Yeah. So going back to what we were saying about the AI content is good enough and that's dangerous. The reason why that's dangerous, right? I think about what Oren was talking about a few episodes ago. And he said, you have either entertainment content or value content. And if it's not either of those two things, it doesn't work. And so if the AI content is good enough at being entertaining or good enough at providing you the value, then it's no longer where the human content is preferred or is good enough to stand out, because you might say right now, oh, I prefer the human content.
Yeah, of course, we all do.
But if you're entertained enough by the AI content,
Exactly.
or if you get enough value from the AI content, if the AI content is good enough, you're like, all right, fuck it, I'm gonna just rock with the AI content.
And I think this is an example of
Exactly. He said it. He said it exactly how it is. It all depends on the market. If the market is entertained or gets value from whatever's given it to them, that's where the audience will go.
those silly videos that I was talking about at the beginning of these pandas having 100,000 views and likes, 100,000 likes, and people commenting on it and being like, haha, this is hilarious. Like, that is what scares me, because that is clearly entertaining, where in 3 years, not even, dude, in the next year, 24 months, I could see a world where you're going to have these young directors making like content that would be created by Pixar in a matter of a month. Like, think about that world and what that's going to look like. And on one side, we could say, oh, well, it's becoming more accessible to people. Yes, 100%. Now, on the other side of it,
Well, the market is just like this industry of creating and editing that for the last 20, 50 years was expensive. I mean, in the last, you know, going back to the 80s and 90s, it was super expensive. And then if you go into the 2000s and the until now, it got much cheaper and much more independent and much more accessible. And now it's down to the most cheapest time ever, where the tools necessary and the way things have been created or produced is literally accessible instantly in seconds.
It's going to be crazy with the amount of layoffs in the creative field.
Totally.
Because of it.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know about that, because if it's layoffs, there's still another market or another sector that is creating the jobs, right? So if the people that are getting laid off because they are the, let's say, the dinosaurs, right, of the content creation, well, over there, they're starting a new sector of new creations.
You know, and even in the coding field and like what that's looking like. And
data analysts.
How many?
See you later.
How many people are being replaced right now with these jobs? And like, this is level 1.
Yeah.
You imagine what level 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 is going to look like.
Now this brings us to our.
The thing is that what they don't tell you is, I mean, they're bringing up amazing points. These are amazing points. The thing is that needs to be understood is a lot of these jobs for the last couple of years, especially in the tech or the computer industry, until now, all these jobs were being done by humans because there was no how would I say, like there wasn't an engine that put everything together eventually, because everything was just repetitive. It's just copy and paste. It was like formulas that have been produced a million times over and over. So all this stuff eventually did have a dead end when an engine that could do it all at once was created, and now that's where we're at now. It's sad, but at the same time, I'm thinking that it's going to open up other areas that we don't even know about yet.